Hi there, it's good to see you. I'm Mateusz Zawadka, but you might know me better as Mr. Drabby, and welcome to my channel. Here we're all about one thing, the intersection of cars and filmmaking, so get ready for car adventures, filmmaking tips and so much more. Today we are diving into secret sauce of After Effects shortcuts. Believe me, these aren't just keys in your keyboards. They are little time savers to boost your productivity and make your editing process much smoother. Now, you might be wondering, Mr. Drabby, why should I care about shortcuts? Well, the answer is simple. They save you an incredible amount of time. Time that you can invest into crafting your creative vision instead of hunting through menus. Think of them as your secret weapon in the world of video editing. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate or a pro, knowing the right shortcut can make a significant difference in your editing process. Before we dive in, I crafted a special PDF for you with my personal selection of After Effects shortcuts, and also includes my personal keyboard shortcuts file, which we'll touch upon later. Some of the shortcuts won't be covered in this video, so it's a must-have. Link to download is in the description, and you can also download it from my website mldrabby.com. Ready to dive in? I've categorized those shortcuts into 3 groups: beginner, intermediate and a pro. No matter where you are in your editing journey, there's a shortcut here for you. I'm a Mac user, so if you're a Windows guy, take Command as in Control and Option as in Alt. And let's start with beginner shortcuts. And starting with the first one you probably know but cannot be missed. Command S. The most important shortcut. You know what it's doing. Moving on the basic property shortcut, which stands for P for position, S for scale, R for rotation and T for opacity. Combination Option plus P plus S plus R plus T adds keyframe for property at current time indicator. For Windows user it's a combination Alt plus Shift plus those letters. Now let's delete keyframe on the scale and press U to hide properties and press U again to show properties with keyframe. As you can see, there are only visible properties with keyframe added. Now let's add an effect to the layer, for example Gaussian blur, and change property for a random number. And now press U 2 times to show all properties with keyframes and effects on the layer. Now let's drag audio to the composition and press L to show audio level. Also press L 2 times to reveal waveform. Pro tip is to lock audio layer during edit. This will lock your waveform visible during edit. Moving to the comp viewer, hold spacebar to reveal hand tool and press and hold left mouse button to move around preview. Dot and comma stands for zoom in and zoom out. Combination Shift plus slash will fit comp to viewer to the window. Moving to the timeline and layers. Combination Command plus D will duplicate the layer. Combination Command plus Shift plus D will split layer in current time indicator. To trim layer on time indicator, press Option plus left or right square bracket. Combination Page up, page down or Command left or right arrow will move time indicator 1 frame back or 1 frame forward. Add Shift to this combination to move for 10 frames. Pro tip from Mr. Drabby. To make your life easier, change those shortcuts to Q and W along with combination plus Shift. This will make your left hand stick to the keyboard while editing. On my tutorials I will use those shortcuts. And lastly, plus and minus will zoom in and zoom out your timeline. These are just few examples of shortcuts, and trust me, they're worth investing your time in. Practice using them in your edit and you'll be amazed at how much time you'll save. Now, as you gain more confidence, you can venture into intermediate and pro shortcuts. This will take your editing skills to the next level. Moving to the intermediate shortcuts. Starting with tools. Press Y for anchor point tool, G for pen tool, H for hand tool and V for selection tool. Moving to the properties. Combination Command plus click on layer toggle will expand all layer properties. By pressing Command and dragging property value will refine property value by 0.1x. Combination with Shift we change value by 10x. Now let's delete all keyframes on the layer and leave position keyframe. Press U to reveal property with keyframe, and to reveal additional properties without keyframes, hold Shift plus S plus R plus T. Moving to the workspace. Now let's change some properties on our layer, add Gaussian blur and change property. And if you want to replace that layer and keep the same changes, select the layer in composition and select new layer in project panel you want in your composition and press combination Command plus Option plus slash to replace selected clip from project area with selected clip in composition. Or you can do it manually by selecting layer in composition you want to replace, select new layer in composition panel and hold Option and drag a layer from a project window to the composition. If you have too many windows opened and you want to quickly close it, just click on the window you want to close, see that blue stroke around the window, and press Command+W to close current window. If you want to enlarge window, hover a mouse over it and press tilde to maximize it. Press tilde again to minimize the window. Now timeline and layers. To move layer to time indicator, press left or right square bracket to set beginning or end of the layer. Keys I and O will move time indicator to layer in or out point. To reverse selected layer, press Command+Option+R. To enable time remapping on layer, press Command+Option+T. After that you can add keyframes to your layer. To add marker to the layer, select layer and press Ctrl and 8. To add marker on composition, deselect all layers and press Ctrl+8. To add marker with a comment, press Ctrl+Option+8. To smoothly move between keyframes, press J and K. To easy ease keyframes, select keyframes and press F9. If you want to move keyframes with frame precision, select keyframe and press Option and the left or right arrow. To move keyframes one frame forward or backward, combination with Shift will move those keyframes by 10 frames. To scale keyframes in time, select all keyframes on layer, press Option and drag beginning or end of selected keyframes. With these intermediate shortcuts, you're well on your way to mastering your After Effects workflow, from basic tool access to managing your timeline and layers effectively. These shortcuts will enhance your editing experience. And now let's dive into those secrets which every pro should know. Starting from COM Viewer. Press apostrophe to show or hide title action save margins, combination with Command and apostrophe to show or hide grid. Now if you need precision, press Command+R to show or hide rulers. Click the edge of the ruler and drag towards the viewer to create guideline. To delete guideline, simply drag that guideline towards the ruler to get rid of it. Now let's add shape layer, create circle, and as you can see in preview, you have that layer controls. To hide it, press combination Command+Shift+H. Press it again to show it. Moving to the timeline and layers. To move layer with frame precision, press combination Option+Shift+Page up or page down. To move layer one frame forward or backward. Here's pro tip from Mr. Drabby. For your convenience, I suggest to change those keyframes to combination Option+Q and W, along with combination+Shift. On my tutorial, I will use those shortcuts. To move selection of layers, press Command+Up or down arrow. And now, to move selected layer up or down, press Command and left or right square bracket. Now let's select layer with keyframes, select property with keyframes, and press Shift+F3 to toggle view of graph editor. Press it again to toggle view to layer editor. To set your workspace area, press B or N to set beginning or end of your workspace. And now sometimes layer you're adding to the comp have different dimensions than the composition. To fit layer to the composition, press Command+Option+F. To help you refine effects up to the music beat, hold Command and drag time indicator to playback audio while moving time indicator. If you want to center anchor point, press Command+Option+Home to do it. But here's again pro tip from Mr. Drabby. To keep your joy while editing, change those keyframes to Command+Option+Dat. On my tutorials, I will use those shortcuts. Moving to composition. To keep your fingers on keyboard while editing, press Command+N to create new composition. Press Command+K to change composition settings. And if you want to pre-compose layers, press Command+Shift+C. Now, viewer resolution. To set resolution to full, press Command+J. Half resolution, Command+Shift+J. And quarter resolution, Command+Option+Shift+J. And there you have it, a comprehensive list of After Effects shortcuts. Keep them at your fingertips and watch how they transform your editing sessions. And that PDF is a perfect reference, so print it out, links down below. Is there any shortcut that I didn't cover? Share it in the comments, we're all here to learn and grow together. If you found this tutorial helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow filmmakers, and don't forget to subscribe for more filmmaking insights. Also, my latest videos are up here. Until next time, happy editing!